Hi Homestead family, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the world of homesteading on a budget. Whether you're dreaming of a simpler life, aiming for self-sufficiency, or just looking to save money, this video is for you. We'll show you particular tips and tricks on how to create a thriving homestead without spending a fortune. From finding affordable land to growing your own food or even raising animals, we've got you covered. So join us as we explore the art of homesteading on a budget. Let's turn your homesteading dreams into reality without breaking the bank. So grab you a cup of coffee or your drink of choice and let's get this day started. So first thing I want to talk about is how we ended up finding our property. We did a ton of research, a ton of looking before we found the perfect property that was for us. So first I want to talk about is driving around. If you don't mind driving around your local country neighborhoods or surrounding areas or wherever you live just to look for signs that are in the ground, and reaching out to those people to schedule appointments to go out and look at the property, or even try to walk the property yourselves if you don't mind or if you're not scared. That's what we did. We only found so many. So after we had found a few by driving around and we didn't like them, we ended up looking on Google, and we searched Google by land for sale in Austin or Houston or wherever, just wherever you're looking for land at. We looked for land on Google for sale, and we found a few. A lot of places were extremely expensive, so we was only able to look at a few from there. And then we ended up reaching out to realtors, and they were finding land for us. We went and looked at one. They told us it was 5 acres. It actually ended up being 2. So a lot of the realtors, and I'm not saying all of them, they just try to show you what they want to show you, not what actually you're looking for. One we found was, like I said, only 2 acres, and we were looking for 5 at the time. It was extremely sandy. It was like kind of a residential area. That was something we wasn't looking for, so we ended up passing on that. And then after we looked up so many, I was actually about to give up and just wait a while before we start searching for property or start searching for land again. And something just told me, check Facebook Market. So I ended up looking on Facebook Market for owner finance land. So while we were looking up owner finance land, we actually came across 3 different properties. One was close to the river. It was already cleared off, and we didn't really have to do any cutting or cleaning. It didn't have electricity, it didn't have water, it didn't have sewer. It was really just raw land that we would have to develop. We ended up saying we was going to go with this property. Like I said, this was the first one we found. After we were sent the restrictions, it was like a homeowner association, and we were both like, I think we should pass on this. So we ended up talking to the owner and letting him know that this is something that we weren't interested in. It was too many restrictions on the property. You couldn't have an RV. Your grass couldn't be taller than 12 inches. And y'all already know how our grass is, right? We ended up telling him that, and he was just like, well, go in through the restrictions and scratch off whatever you want. I really would like y'all to be my neighbor. We didn't even know that he owned the property next to the property he was trying to sell us. So he was just like, yeah, scratch that off. And I was like, no, it's already written. It's a written document. I don't want to go in and scratch anything off. We're just going to pass on this. And I said, we could just keep in touch and we can be friends from here on out. We don't have to actually live next to you to be your friend. So we ended up passing on that. And then we went and we found one that was a little bit further out. It was probably about an hour or so away from Austin. And we went and looked at that one, and it was actually nice, y'all. It was 10 acres. It was probably about $80,000, and it already had electricity on the property. But the thing is, it was like dips and curls and just holes, and like nothing was even, y'all. Nothing was even. You had to have a well out there. It had a road already built in with a driveway. It was actually ready to move on to, but you had to bring in some dirt, and it was gonna need a lot of dirt in there because the way that all the hills and dips and stuff was on that property, you was gonna need a lot of dirt to fill in everything to make everything smooth. So we kept that in mind, and we just said we're gonna find one more just to see what we come across of, and we actually found this one that we're on now. We ended up contacting the person that was selling this property, and he brought us out here, and we walked around. We had jeans on, long sleeve, boots, the whole nine, y'all. When we got out here, it was full of mesquite trees and just all kind of weeds and bushes and just whatever you could think of, it was out here. So we walked the entire property with the guy, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's a pecan tree. That's gonna grow nice." It was not a pecan tree. Um, and we told him we'll get back to him, and actually somebody else was looking at the property as well. So the next day we contacted him, and we was like, "Okay, this is something that we want to move forward with. We are interested in it. We wish we could have got the property in the back, but it was already sold." So he drew up the contract. He sent it to us. And this property was owner financing, y'all. It was a little bit more than what we expected to pay, but it was well worth it on our end. So this property we got for $140,000. It is 12 acres and it's owner finance. The reason we chose owner financing is because we didn't want the actual 140,000 to be on our credit, meaning it's on our credit but not on our credit. So the creditors, like if I was to go buy a house or something, they could still see it. But like if I get something, a credit card or a car or something like that, it will not be seen as debt. So this is our reason of going owner finance. It's very, very hard to find owner financing property, so you really got to do your search and you got to be patient. My patience was running thin, but look, we ended up finding the perfect property for us. It had to put $10,000 down on the property, and who has $10,000 sitting around? Nobody, unless you're wealthy or great at saving money. So we ended up doing a $5 challenge before we even started looking for property. And the $5 challenge is every $5 bill that you place in your hand or somebody gives you, you put up and save it. So we had a little over $10,000 saved. So we was able to take those $5 bills to the bank and get a cashier's check for $10,000 to put down on the property. So that's how we ended up with this property. That's how much our property costs. Now on to how to live frugal. Reuse, repurpose, and buy secondhand items. Meaning a lot of the appliances that I have been looking for on our farmhouse is probably going to be secondhand. We already purchased a stove from somebody on Marketplace that was selling a stove not too far from us. We bought it for about $150. We have not hooked it up yet. Prayers, like I said in one of the other videos, that I hope it works because they didn't have it hooked up. We don't have anything to hook it up. We're still doing the electricity portion of our house, so we can't connect it, but I have faith in the people that were selling the stove to us that it works. So we're gonna say it works. We kept our washer and dryer, so that is gonna be something that we're gonna be using. Building our fence in the garden, that is repurposed wood from another project that helped us save money, create a beautiful gate to walk into my garden. So that is something that you could do. Just you gotta search for that as well and be willing to negotiate with people to get things at a cheaper price, and be willing to be creative in order to reuse something that you already have and make it something else. A lot of our horse stalls are built with reused wood. There's a company that allows you to bring wood and other materials to a dump, and if they figure it's reusable, they actually save it and you can buy it at a cheaper price. A lot of our hairstyles are made from material from that company. So whether the wood might cost $8 at Home Depot, it might cost $3 or $4 or even less at this company that we buy that sells reused wood. So that is something you want to look into. Also, do your research to see what company around your area sells reused and repurposed products. So let's talk about gardening hacks. A few hacks you could use is, again, going to that repurposed store and buying some reused wood to build some garden beds or just a gate or a fence to go around your garden to keep unwanted animals and creatures out of it. My raised beds was actually built with fence pickets that we got from that reused store, so it ended up being really cheap for me to build my raised beds. The dirt I ended up getting from Home Depot, and a lot of it is dirt and horse manure mixed together that I let dry out. So it is not that much dirt that is in my garden beds, but there is purchased dirt in there. So I ended up spending a little bit of money on some of the dirt. I ended up waiting on Home Depot to have a sale where they were selling 10 bags of dirt for $10. You got to catch the sales and be able to save money when you can, when you have to spend money. And like I said before, my gate is actually reused and reclaimed material as well. You also want to be able to build a garden that'll help you save money from the grocery store. Being able to grow your own fruits and vegetables and even some flowers that you can dry and make teas out of will be helpful to you as well. So being able to do that will help you save money in different areas. That way you can spend money on the things that you actually need to buy instead of spending money in the grocery store on fruits and vegetables. We do plan on putting some trees out here. And just to let you know that I do plan on expanding my garden. So my garden is what you've seen so far in some of the other videos, but as the years go on, I want my garden to be huge. I want to have trees. I want to have fruits and vegetables. I want pecan trees. Like, I want it all, but we have to do things slowly because we are not rich and we're trying to live debt free. And that's why we're bringing you along on this journey. And that's why I'm creating this video to let y'all know this is something that you can do. Next, let's talk about water management. So you want to do things to keep your water bill down, far as setting up a rainwater system. That is something we have yet to do. I do put buckets out when it rains to catch water, and I combine water and different things just so I can save rainwater for when it gets extremely hot here in Texas and I need to water my garden. That way I am not wasting a lot of water, because we use water, our horses use water, our dogs use water, and we need water to water our fruits and vegetables in the garden. So anywhere that I can save water at, I will do it. So eventually I want to put gutters on the house and the gutters on my shed so we can catch and collect rainwater to use far as watering the grass around the area of the house and my shed and water in the garden. You also can buy these systems online where you can calculate how much water you're using. I actually have one on my shed where I could press and it only allows me to water my garden for 10 minutes. So that is 10 minutes of watering that my garden gets in the morning and sometimes in the evening. I don't water my garden twice every day, but if it's extremely hot, I try to. And it actually tells me how much water I'm using on a daily basis. So that is another thing that you could do to be able to calculate how much water usage is being used. Last but not least, I want to talk about energy efficiency. So one thing you want to try to get is solar panels, whether you're putting solar panels on your house, whether you're going to put build some kind of frame where you're going to put solar panels on, where it's going to energize your house, your shed, your garden, whatever you want to use. Also, they have energy efficient appliances. Eventually, that is something that we want to get. We do want solar. Right now, we have electricity from the city. We do have energy efficient lighting. That saves us money on our bill. Our air conditioners are energy efficient. They have a energy efficient mode that you press on them, and we're able to save money there as well. Other than that, our our light bill would probably be sky high. So we do want to put solar out here. That way we can save even more money, be able to live at a lower cost when we're not spending hundreds of dollars on electricity prices. In the beginning, I'm sure you're going to splurge on some of the things that you need far as going solar, meaning the electric panels, the batteries, and whatnot, and the material used to set up your panels. I have not did a lot of research on it, so I cannot tell you the cost of it. But when that time comes, I promise you, we will do the breakdown on what it costs to put the solar panels up. That way you can save money along with us and be able to know the outcome price once you start to do solar yourself. All right, y'all, I want to thank y'all for taking the time out to watch this video. Please like and share this video with anybody interested in the homestead journey while living debt free. We will see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.